Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play HOI4 Kaiserreich Azerbaijan. Let's continue on for the last that's off. So we have defeated the Cairo Pact. We should, yes, be getting some events here. So Egypt, actually no, let's first do it. Arabia, we'll liberate a loyal Arabia. We might have to take some of the claims ourselves. Oh no, that's actually fine. So we got a nice Arabia here. The Levant, we release Syria. And Egypt. I mean, release Egypt with Sudan, even though it's not pronounced Sudan, it's pronounced like Sudan. We'll release them like that. Fantastic for us. Let's make our way up to Azerbaijan. I think Armenia, like, we can form like, I don't remember what the pact's called, like the Golestan Pact. I don't remember. There's some faction I can form with Armenia, so you know we'll get that going soon-ish, because you guys should be. Yeah, you're gonna be at war very, very soon. So once the highway or once the railway in Iran is complete, we will then invade Azerbaijan, and that might honestly just be the end of the series right there. I'm not too sure. I mean, I know we could invade India, but if they're gonna, we need like some support in that. So they go to Golestan. Yes, we can reunite you in 35 days. Unfortunately, Armenia, Georgia, and Golestan, we can only do those if we went absolute monarchy. And like I said at the beginning of our restart, I have no idea how they get that to even work. I mean, we have Kurdistan up here. Kurdistan, I think, can join the Cairo Pact, but I don't know if that's still possible because Egypt doesn't exist. I mean, they exist. And you can't demand the canal, right? No. You have been completely defeated. I think you're still the same person in charge. But we do have massive Ethiopia. I'm sure they're going to release Syria. Or not Syria. We're going to release Sudan soon. Or they might just keep... They might just keep the territory. I'm not too sure. But I will say we have a pretty decent little empire right here. Resistance is decreasing across the board, which is nice. We're not going to turn Arabian lands because we don't have any like cores on them or claims on them. But I'm not going to give them to these guys for no good reason. Probably don't want delay. I mean, it's 1939. You're 1941 tech. You're way too expensive. We're already getting you. So let's go with some light tanks, I guess. How many troops does Azerbaijan even have? They have 1 to 5 divisions, which I would say not a lot. Afghanistan's looking pretty good. Do you have cores? No, you actually lose your claims in India after you lose the Anglo-Afghanistan war. And what are you? Are you? Yeah, you're the Orange Army. Again, we're just going to play one template of you. And where are we going to put you? Oh, no, yeah, you're in the Orange Army. So you make your way over there. Like, how many guns do we have? We have 6,000 rifles. What are they mostly needed for? Probably garrison divisions if I had to take a guess. Yeah, I know we're not training anybody, but I really don't think we need to train anybody, even. We can train, you know what? Let's train up a handful of the better units that actually have artillery pieces in them. We'll train up 10 of them. I know there's going to be a lot of manpower. There's going to be a lot of equipment. Actually, not really. Never mind. No, it's 7,000. But apparently that'll be finished in like, it's like 4 months, which is really not that bad at all. Yeah, now that we're going to be building planes, we do need some more resources. And we actually improved artillery as well. They're going to be a little bit more expensive. Because what are we needing now? Still 112. We only have 5 factories. I don't know. We have 8 from trade. We own 7. So you know what? We can actually trade without harming our economy too much. Because I don't think we're going to be going to war with any of the major powers who are probably trading with us. Like, I'd imagine that, you know, Azerbaijan, not a major trading partner. And once we take over the territory, get even more oil, we'll be in an even better position. Yeah, because you're still at war with Nepal. How much do you want to bet that India's already lost at least 250,000 men in this war? 300,000? Yep, no, I knew it. I knew it. How is this war going, by the way? Guerrilla Revolt's about to lose. Not without losing almost 1 million troops. I feel like that's a bit much. You guys are now at war. Do you still have your protection here? I mean, you do. So it's risky. Because we might end up at war with the Germans. But, screw it. Do it anyways. By the way, Armenia. Do you want to form the one faction we can form together? Maybe after this event pops up. Russia declared war on Germany as well. So that does kind of help us out a little bit. Because you're going to be fighting Don Cuban Union. But yeah, Ukraine isn't in the Reichspact, right? They're still fighting against everybody. So Germany's actually going to be in a much trickier time than they normally would be, I would say. Okay, Denmark's joined the Reichspact. They're not social democratic, so they're not going to leave the war, like what'll sometimes happen. So the Dutch are going social democratic, which doesn't, I believe, even though they're actually social liberal, so I'm not too sure what they're actually talking about here, but we'll let it go as is. Bulgaria still somehow surviving. I appreciate their tenacity here. We might actually end up at war with Germany as well. So I guess we can maybe send troops to Russia, help them out. We can't join the Moscow faction. And I would, if I was given the opportunity, I would join the faction. Either that or, form my own faction with Armenia. And then go to war with Germany. Because if they need to go to war with Germany and take over Azerbaijan, so be it. Of course, there is a risk that Russia would just invade us for it. Which would complicate the issue slightly. We did get infantry equipment 1. Let's then go for you. I mean, you're a 1940 tech, but it's already August, so I'm not too concerned with that. And of course, we don't have enough steel. We have some from Egypt, but Egypt isn't really worth trading with. Who else, what resources do all my puppets actually have? I didn't really even look. You have tungsten. Oil, and nothing else. You have a little bit of steel, a little bit of tungsten. So nothing too crazy here. So Germany, are you going to back Azerbaijan against us? Potentially, yes. Muscat has joined the Entente, which usually means that Yemen will go to war with them. Are they going to call upon the Raj? What does that do? Indian advisors, Persian advisors. Yeah, I guess Iran is a faction. I guess I wasn't a faction leader. I would have accepted Muscat into my alliance. It would have been, slightly helpful in the war against Arabia and Egypt. Even though we did do pretty well. We're almost done here. What does this actually give them? I assume just... Oh, yeah, because these are actually core states now. Yeah, because it's not Saudi Arabia. It's just normal Arabia this time. Yeah, so I could give them some territory that would be core, but that would mean that I wouldn't own it. And now it's kind of the whole point of the war to begin with. So there's some more oil over here, more oil. We have a lot of oil in the country. And I'm assuming that's mostly what we're exporting. So actually getting resource, let me see. Go to trade. So we're making 169. If we were to get a 10% boost, that would be an extra 17 oil. Which I think would allow us to trade a little bit more, which would actually allow us maybe to get one more civilian factory. Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It'll allow us more factories to trade with. Which would be nice. So maybe whatever the next technology unlocks, let's say the light tanks in the 92 days, maybe we'll get the better resource stuff there. Bulgaria has joined the Moscow Accord. Will you guys join the Moscow Accord? No, you're still in the Belgrade Pact for now, but usually that will... Yeah, I mean, we don't need Armenia's help, but we'll approach them anyways. Armenia. Will you help in this conquest? Also, it gives me a faction, which is kind of more what I'm interested in. You know what, let's study the Wildkrieg. I think they always say yes. You have agreed to the deal. We have created a faction, which at this point would have allowed Muscat to join us. But the Golestan Pact is looking pretty good, I would say. I'm assuming we're about to go to war in just a moment. Yeah, they're never returning Arabian lands. It's never going to happen. So I'm assuming you would get this territory, and that's fine. You can have a little bit of territory. I know, again, it does theoretically lead to a conflict with Russia, which we'll have to be prepared for. What if I was to... You know what? If... I don't know. Like, if... Germany protects Azerbaijan. Okay, looks like a chance Azerbaijan tried to ask for foreign powers to help, and they've all refused. So never mind. They have no backing. Which is nice. In fact, I can probably go straight into Baku. Straight into these other cities. And kind of expect zero resistance. We might be able to kill these guys without even taking a single casualty. For instance, they might only have, like, 5 divisions. Again, if you can kill them in a bloodless war... Okay, they're immediately trying to take some casualties, but that's not a huge surprise. We've taken Baku. Let's go take this city from them. Okay, they are defending there. Like, they're almost dead. There's not even a reason to call Armenia into the war. How about you just, like, you just go there, because we should be in Ganja soon. Okay, so I've lost no men. They've lost 10,000 because they tried to break out of here and it didn't work for them. Okay, so you have successfully defeated here. I'm almost wondering if it would make sense to attack the Russians. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but I have a feeling that Russia's going to invade us over, Okay, you won't accept, but I don't think that's going to matter right now. Well, I mean, yeah, well, we'll take all states. Armenia didn't even want to join the war. Again, I don't think we took a single casualty there. Which works pretty well for me. We'll draw our front line, something like this. We'll prepare an invasion of Russia for now. Because I do suspect... Why do you not want to draw this line? There we go. Because I have a feeling that Russia is going to be hostile towards us. Because they're going to want to take over Armenia. Okay, we'll return Armenian lands. Return them their lands. There you go, Armenia. And we get the annexation. We become owner and controller of these territories. Not core, of course. Unfortunately. But we're still looking pretty good. What are you guys doing here in India, by the way? Are, like, any of you planning? It's like Kashmir to rebellion, which is here. So you're going to attack the Dominion of India. You're not doing anything quite yet. Also, it looks like China actually never rose up here. And actually, the Siamese Civil War, I actually don't know if that fired off at all either. Okay, so the French declared war in the Netherlands. Doesn't make any sense. Like, the focus is supposed to be similar to Germany in real life, having pushed through, Belgium. But this time, instead, it's, France defeated Belgium, and then they try to push their way through the Netherlands. But the French just declare the war for no reason. So, you guys do that. My thing is, do I... Like, how many troops does Russia have? It would get us a war with Bulgaria, but I don't think that matters too much. You're going to fight. And I think because Russia doesn't have to fight Ukraine, nor Don-Cuban Union at the same time. What if we attacked India? 125 days. That's a while for sure. Let's get 2 more factories for you. We actually have 38,000 rifles. So you know what? We can easily cut you down. Build some more aircraft. And you know what? Build up some tanks. I know we're not using the tanks right now for anything. But we should be in the future. We can integrate Azerbaijan. Thank you. Let me get those cores. It's going to take 200 days, but that's fine. Propaganda, we have 100% war support, so it doesn't matter. Like, how many troops? Like, if I was to justify against Russia, how long would that take? It'd take 1 month for the justification to go through. I mean, what do I even want to take? I guess I'd want to try to be like, hey, I'm going to take over this region here. But that is a little bit difficult. Because we have all of our little puppet states. Egypt just built 2 troops, but besides that... And also, this entire border went to Ukraine. So I'm not too sure what Ukraine's going to do. And I'm not too sure what Russia's going to do. I mean, we could do something like we could attack Kurdistan. We could just re-attack Turkey again. Because, you know, most of the Middle East is under control. It would have been nice to have Tripolitania as well, but I don't think there's anything I can really do about that at this point. And, you're not at war. None of you guys seem interested currently in going to war with, like, the Austrians or anything like that. Yeah, Russia... I mean, Russia is, I think, losing. They're losing somewhat. Patrick, like, whose side are you on? You're in the Reichspakt. You're also worth the Russians. Like, the Russians are worth a lot of people right now. Okay, Russia... Afghanistan's no longer an occupied puppet. I mean, I think they're still considered a puppet state. They're just not an occupied puppet, which I think does have some different modifiers. Subject to Pepper, it's 90%. Extra trade to Overlord. Autonomy gain, minus 50%. So it's slightly worse than the occupied puppet, but it's not that much worse, all things considered. So I'm not worried about that. I mean, Ukraine has lost some territory. So I'm just wondering, like, does it make sense to invade the Russians? Because again, I think they're losing. They pushed a little bit into, like, Finland and stuff. But Finland's also pushed a little bit into their territory. So, I mean, this area would be completely undefended for the most part. I mean, there's some other things that, like Transmere. What if you were to attack Russia? You're not at peace because you're at war with the Germans. Okay, so never mind. I do think... I think attacking Russia would be the next step. Because I don't believe the Internationale is going to win. Because I haven't seen anything that would signal to me. Because I'm sure Austria is going to join at some point. You're going to approach Greece. Maybe get them on side. How much troops do you have, Ukraine? 10 to 66? Like, 50 to 140 is a lot. I mean, I know there's going to be no troops on this border. But let's at least throw you guys here. Because until Ukraine, I think, is at peace with... What are you? What can I get from this stuff? I mean, we still have recovering economy. What is that penalty right now? It's still not great. And we do need all of these. You know, let's just go for the old logistics plan. Get a little bit more infrastructure. And just push to the south? Like, it would, like, the question would be a lot less confusing if Ukraine was still in the war, or was at war with the Russians. Cause I mean, you're the nationalist, right? Like, you are not the side that likes Russia. I think. Okay, coalition with a nationalist. Coalition splits. You're not fully independent. You can only do this if you're social conservative. I think you can ban Vin. Yeah, so you're the anti-Russian Ukrainian government. The thing is, like, you are white Ruthenia normally. I mean, right? And I don't know if Ukraine, for example, has a peace event with the Reichspakt or not, or if they're just going to fight forever. I think White Ruthenia is going to collapse as well. Because my thought is that we either go to war with Russia or we go to war with like Turkey or something like that. The Mini of India is actually doing pretty poorly against Hyperbad. So like even then, like we can go to war with them and try to take over Pakistan. This will be 125 days, so there's nothing we can do. Like we've gotten all of our Costas bellies from our focus stream. Yeah, we would have given us a bunch of war goals, which would have been nice. What about like attacking Georgia? 125 days for you as well. Yeah, I don't think you can really attack anybody quite yet. I'm just not too sure. And I feel like I want to do at least one more thing before we call this a series. And I honestly think it might just be the conquest of Turkey, maybe. That might be the best thing we have here. We do have some aircraft. 22, in fact, which is an okay Air Force. I mean, it's not actually that good at all, but we'll go up to 300 on you. Free military factories. Let's throw that into a little bit more planes. Let's go for the next level of light tanks. But I do think for right now, there's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthem. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. And not enjoyed, you can always thumb down. If you want to see more, subscribe. And goodbye.